All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to AIWF Ringside Wrestling. Happy Father's Day. If you're watching on Sunday, the live broadcast or later tonight on YouTube.
All you mother fathers out there.
Yes, indeed. I saw so much funny stuff on Twitter today. Uh, I can't repeat here. But if you go to, oh no, I didn't even repost that one online. Yeah, but I seen some real good jokes on Twitter today, real edgy type stuff. I'm talking like Bob Saget kind of edgy. So, probably not safe to do here, but
that's dark.
Yeah, but every time I mention Bob Saget on this show, we have a really good show. So maybe somebody has alerted Bob Saget in the afterlife what a fan of his, how much joy he brought to me. And when his name is mentioned, he comes and hovers his comedy gold over our show. I don't know. It's a nice thought anyway. Anyway, I am Mad Matt Carter. As you can see, I'm already in the Juneteenth, 4th of July celebration here of my Amazon red, white, and blue beads. See, I'm getting in the patriotic spirit, man, already. And when I opened the box, it said made in China. So anyway.
God bless the American spirit, bro.
We said all fireworks and all those are made in China too.
Well, they're the ones who created them. So
yeah. So but anyway, thank you, China, for the lovely beads and the fireworks. I'm being joined as always by Hall of Famer and Commissioner Rick Diesel, along with Hall of Famers Brian and Reagan Danzig. How is everybody today?
Good.
I'm excited to be alive.
Yeah. Well, why just happy to be alive in general, or did something happen that traumatized you to make you a little more grateful today?
No, I'm over 60. Every day is a blessing.
Yeah.
You'll get there. Don't you worry.
Oh, it ain't it'll be sooner than you think, probably. I liked it. My aunt Bab, she left us a couple of years ago. She almost hit 90, and when she turned 80, that's what she would say all the time. She said, "Oh, I'm having a great day, man. I got up." So, yeah, she said every day that you're in your 80s was like a roll of the dice.
Yeah.
But anyway, so good to have you along. Hope you had a great Father's Day. If you didn't, don't come bitching in our comments. We really don't care. It's not that we're hard-hearted. It's just that's all the internet is. A lot of times is a bunch of complaining, and we're here to brighten your day. Not ruin it.
If you had a bad Father's Day, it's because your kids don't like you, and that's probably your fault.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Then again, if you're just, sad and lonely, I do feel bad for you, but you're here at the right place because, we like you. So I guess, unless you don't
There's nothing better to do if you're sad and lonely to watch wrestling.
Right. Yeah. And if you look on Twitter, you'll know that you're not alone. So, oh my God.
And if you're single, you've never been married, you never had kids, just go stick your face in the toilet and go, "Why won't you give me anything for Father's Day?"
I don't get it.
That's where your kids are.
Oh.
Goodness gracious.
Or you could shout down the drain of the shower, All of a sudden we got gross really quick.
Get a tissue box in memoriam.
Oh, once we get going down that road, folks, it just it snowballs, man. And yeah, Bob's with us tonight. I know Bob's with us tonight. Okay, so look, it has been a huge weekend of wrestling. We got a ton of stuff to go over. We're going to cover our show that's coming up next weekend, the TV taping. There's a lot of big news to talk about that. But first thing I wanted to bring up, Javon Evans wrestled in the main event of NXT this past Tuesday night against Shawn Spears. And as everybody knows, Shawn Spears is a wily veteran. He's been around quite a while now. I call him a veteran if they've been around 8-9 years. And Shawn Spears has been on the national scene. He was in NXT at first, and then WWE for a little while. Then he went to AEW for a little while. And now he's back in NXT. Is that right? I think that's right. Because
you don't know about that now. I'm too busy to keep up with it.
Well, he had another name when he was in WWE before. He was the guy that came out and did 10, I believe. If I'm wrong, if somebody wants to pop in the comments box and remind me what Sean's name was when he was in WWE the last time. But I thought, oh, well, okay, they must be impressed enough with the young Javon Evans that they're going to give him a step up in competition. And boy, did they. And had it not been for one ill-fated jump off the top rope, landing face first onto the announce table, which is enough to knock any man loopy, Javon lost his first match on TV, but he was in the main event and he was in there right to the end. Boy, I am just tickle pink. I was so happy for him. I mean, even when he lost, I mean, I hated to see him lose, but when you're in your first few months of an NXT run and you lose to a 10-year plus veteran, you got nothing to be ashamed of.
In the main event.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they obviously see potential in him. I mean, they're pushing him hard. So I mean, they definitely see something in him. And I mean, there is something there. I mean, we've seen it, and and I'm just glad that they see it too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So, Mr. Bouncy,
I'm happy for him because he is a good kid. We all know, we've all dealt with him, we've all talked. He's been on our show several times. I remember that when he was first, coming around, and you just seen something in him. Then he just had that heart.
I remember the first time I saw him wrestle after the show was over. I saw him back in the office, and when I was shaking his hand, telling him to have a safe trip home, I was like, damn, you fast. Like that. And he just smiled. Thank you. You know how he is. So he's going to be fine. And he got the rub from the rapper Sexy Red, who I had never heard of before she was involved with the NXT's last PLE. But thanks to our good friends at Apple Music, I went on there and did a little quick research, and she's quite popular with the youngins. She's made like one album every year or two a year for like the last 2 or 3 years, something like that. So she's putting out a lot of content. So, him getting a rub from her, or maybe she getting a rub from NXT, I don't know, but that was pretty cool. And of course, wouldn't be talking NXT without saying hello to Andre Chase. You're doing a good job. And I want you to know, you should probably listen to Thea Hale right now. Just telling you, just listen to her. She's crazy, I know, but I think Thea Hale is offering you, Andre, Mr. Chase, a teachable moment. So just saying, if you watch it, Chase, you get that joke.
Okay.
Rick Diesel does not watch NXT, so he's like, what the hell? That's Mr. Chase's catchphrase. Ladies and gentlemen, I think what we have here is a teachable moment. So that's what he does. Yeah. So I love that kid. Anyway, so I guess we need to get into our portion of the promotion here. Let me see. All the stuff pulled up.
Dead silence.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they love in podcasting.
Cardinal sin. That's what they told me when I got into radio too, Danny.
What do they
Dead air,
call it on
buddy.
the radio? Dead air. Yeah.
Dead air.
That's what they call it in the radio.
Yep. All right. This is AIWF Ringside Wrestling for Father's Day, June 16th. Don't wish your life away, Matt. June 16th, 2024. And we are on Instagram. You can see us at AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling and Diesel 247. Sure, those will get more active in the next week as we continue to push toward our show. If you like to see random people get hurt for doing things they shouldn't, visit me. And there's wrestling stuff on here too. And sometimes some inappropriate jokes, but that's what this is. It's fun over at Mad Matt Concord. So I mostly retweet other stuff, but we have some wrestling promotion on there, is true too. And we're over on TikTok as well. Although TikTok to me is yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's either like, like the girls down here in Charlotte. I'm either a Bojangles girl or a KFC girl. And I don't know if I'm a TikTok girl. Don't know. But I try to put stuff on there to promote the shows.
I keep the X thing going pretty good, but I'm failing on the TikTok and the Instagram again, because Instagram seems like mostly just pictures and little short videos. And
It
I don't have
is.
time to take pictures and make short videos.
Well, all I do
just
is
posting links.
yeah, I post the posters and put music to them. So I'll try to think of a theme song for an upcoming show and just post about it with that music on there. That's what I like about Instagram. You can use music. You can use music on TikTok too, but unfortunately not on this one, YouTube. AIWF Network, AIWF Ringside Wrestling. And of course, you can send all your hate mail to AIWF20@hotmail.com, where I'm sure if we feel threatened by the subject line, we'll immediately be deleted and ignored. But if you want us to tell us how good a job we're doing, we're available there. Or if you'd like to inquire about merchandise or any questions, sponsorships, that's where to reach us. And that email address, as you can see, it's a Hotmail email address. So it's been around since the 90s.
It
AIWF
might have been one of the first ones.
I
would say
Can
so.
you even get a Hotmail anymore?
No.
No, it's Outlook now.
Outlook.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a 30-year-old email address.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I've got one. Hey, I've got one that was started in 1997 that's pushing 30 years. That's my Yahoo address, which I ain't giving out on this program. But yeah, let's see. AIWF Network, AIWF Ringside Wrestling. Over 1,200 subscribers on the Ringside Wrestling channel, and on the network pushing what, about 3,900, I think.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. Yeah. So we get this stuff out, man. People see it. We got a new subscriber to the Ringside Wrestling Network, network up in northern West Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania. They cover independents up there. They've got over 5,000 followers. I wish I could remember their names, but they just came on the last couple of days. So that's great. So it looks like other people are doing what we're doing in their local areas, and independent wrestling is getting on YouTube and starting to take a hold. So yeah, we all need to keep those videos coming. Our next big event comes your way. It's TV taping. We're going to try to get 4 in the can, I assume, Rick Diesel?
Yes, sir.
All right, 4 in the can on Saturday night, this coming Saturday, June 22nd. You can see Conor Kelly's going to be with us. All our regulars, Ryan Mantis, JAC, who joined us last week on this show. And yeah, Justin Flash, Clara, JT Moss, you see them all there. And we do know that Clara will defend the world title at this event. We just do not know yet who that opponent is, or do we? And can we announce it now, or do we still not know?
We do not know. Well, actually, there's a bit of a controversy around the opponent. So, and I mean, you know, it's hard to explain, but we hope to have it worked out by Saturday. It's Claire's coming to town, so everybody wants a piece of that title. Is basically what Claire.
It is, yeah.
So we got to work out some logistics, but it'll be good no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, well, a lot of people want a piece of that title, but do they want a piece of Clara? Because you got to go through Clara to get to that title. So
that's another problem all in itself. But yeah, that's what it is. Claire don't get to come now that she's a world champion. Her and Jack's just traveling everywhere. So it's hard to get her on the schedule. So when you get a champion like that on the schedule to bring them through, you know, people start lining up quick.
mm-hmm.
So you have to decide, you know, who's going to be a good opponent for her. So,
mm-hmm.
and it's hard to choose from them all, honestly.
Yep.
Yeah, she's held on to that world title for a good amount of time, which is rare, because you know the competition is, you know, again, it's the best of the best from every promotion that you're facing each and every time, and so far she's managed to hold on to that title longer than a lot of world champions have. So whoever steps in the ring with her this Saturday is going to have the fight of their life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she won it, as a matter of fact, Brian, last December. And so yeah, she has had it for a while. Let's see, that's 7 months now, I guess. So
Yeah.
Which
I don't know how many
for the world title, you know, for the AIWF world title scene is again, is a very long time.
Yeah.
mm-hmm. Yep. So Clara will be with us. We know that. Get ready for her. And then, as announced last week on this program, Justin Flash putting up the title, the Mid-Atlantic Championship against JAC, who everybody knows is going to Japan for training in August.
He's vowing to take that belt with him.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, because he's also going on tour there, so he can then defend that title in Japan, which would be exciting. But at the same time, this is the Mid Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. As much as I would like to see the AIWF title travel to Japan, I would also like our Mid Atlantic title to stay in Mount Airy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of a it's kind of a toss up. There's positive and negatives about both. It's one thing to have a world title go overseas, but our promotions heavyweight title going over there, it's kind of a different story.
Yeah.
It's a regional title, like back in the territory days.
Mhm.
I mean, that would be like like Mid-South would be a good example. Remember in the early 80s, they had the Louisiana title and the Mississippi title. Well, you never saw the Mississippi title defended in Lafayette or Shreveport or New Orleans because it was the Mississippi title. This is the Mid-Atlantic title. It's it would be cool if it went to Japan, but then we'd be stuck here for 3 months with no heavyweight champion. So
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jack's wanting to do it just because he'd love to have a belt when he goes to Japan, or if he'd just like to do it just so he can look at the fans in Mid-Atlantic and go, look what I did.
I think it's a combination of the two. I think he wants to take the title. He thinks it's his. It's also that he wants to take it from Justin Flash, the person who took it from him, and he wants it as a screw you to the fans of Mount Airy.
Yeah.
whom he legitimately hates. Because if you notice when we were talking to him last week, I went into my routine that I like to do when we discuss wrestling conventions. Where I talk about, I don't want to be around that many people in a closed area that haven't bathed. And as soon as I said something about, WrestleCade, the people that run WrestleCade and the smelly fans, he went into a tirade about how smelly and ugly fans were in Mount Airy. I mean, I think he loves coming up to wrestle for the competition and everything, but he does not like the people. So Mount Airy wrestling fans, you're living rent free in this guy's head. So if you
go with him everywhere he goes.
Yes, and you really if you like Justin Flash, you can really be like the 12th man in football, the crowd. You're going to be able to really help him. You be loud Kansas City Chiefs or Seattle Seahawks. You could really be a big help to Justin Flash by coming out there and getting his head, because he's made it clear you're in there. So just saying. I mean, I know I'm supposed to be unbiased, but I think I'm starting to feel some kind of way about that title disappearing. No offense, JAC.
I mean, it's this Saturday that it could happen.
Yeah. So we need you to come out in bunches. Tell your friends, tell your family, if you have to hold them at gunpoint, do so. No, I'm just kidding. Don't kidnap them. Don't kidnap anybody.
That's high.
Oh, it's like the time that Bradshaw was driving around. Where is he? He said somewhere down in the deep South. I think he said he was in either Georgia or Atlanta with Ron Simmons and Teddy Long, and they got pulled over by a police officer. And he was so scared because, the South's reputation. And he said it seriously crossed his mind that when a cop walked up to the car, he wanted to look at the cop and say, "Officer, these people are holding me against my will."
Oh my gosh.
I've always thought it'd be really funny to but if you actually did that, what problems it would cause.
Yeah, all the way around.
Yeah, don't ever say those words to a police officer unless you are, of course, being held against your will.
Right.
But anyway, so I think before we encourage people to break any more laws, I just need to move on. This is our calendar for the rest of the year. As you can see, June 22nd, our big TV taping. Then we'll be back with you in July for Capital Punishment. And that'll be on July 20. August 10th, Veterans Park, Mid-Atlantic TV taping. Hey, that's me and my mother's birthday weekend and my wife's. Let's see. August 31st, Deal with the Steel. Heath Slater's going to be on that show. A lot of fun. September 14th, we're there. And September 20th and 21st, the Surrey County Fair. Probably along with Extreme Content, my favorite show of the year. So anyway, and then you can see October, and we wind things down in October and November. As it's just we take the winters off now, and I think it's good. Good for the park, it's good for us. So anyway, let me get into our first bunch of ad reads here real quick. Premier Auto Detailing, hands down the best car cleaning service in town. They operate in the Mount Airy, Surrey County area. Call them at 336-883-5722. That's 336-883-5722 for more information. And yeah, they can do commercial jobs. They can do residential jobs. If your car just needs a basic wash and wax, they can do that, or they can get down deep and clean it with a toothbrush. Whatever you need, Premier Auto Detailing has got you covered. Pick up the phone, call them 336-883-5722, and please tell them AIWF Ringside Wrestling sent you. Tees Creations, custom apparel, boy, they got it all. T-shirts, custom-made T-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, tumblers, front license plates, whatever you need, they can create it for you. They handle all the AIWF merchandise. So yeah, your favorite wrestlers gear, you can reach out to Tees Creations at teescreations22.com. Tees Creations by Allied Apparel on Facebook, and their TikTok is real light and lively over there, so you can check them out there. They're also on Shopify, all those places. So check them out, Tees Creations, for all your custom-made apparel and good stuff like that. All right. So, and remember, wrestlers, if you want to get T-shirts and stuff printed up, you do not have to go to a third party out of state any longer. You've got them right under your nose. Tees Creation. So see the boss at the show, and they will get you all set up. And of course, if you'd like to advertise with us here for basically what you just saw and heard, if there's more details, we'll get them out there to you. $10 a month, all it costs for 4 reads. That way, if we take a week off, it doesn't bother you any. It's $10 a month, and we will put your business on. We got our new sponsor, Secondhand Heroes. We'll be talking about them later. And yeah, $10 a month for a read just like that. If you want to do a video commercial, we can help you produce that. That's a little more expensive, $30 a month, but we'll work it out. Don't worry. You can email us at AIWF20 at hotmail.com, or reach out to us on any of our social medias, and we will help you out. So let's get into major wrestling news of the week. Article came out this week that NXT is getting close to beating AEW's ratings. When AEW started out, they were averaging about 2 million a week. During the pandemic, it dropped down really low, but got back up to 1 million after we came out of the pandemic, when people started going back to live events, but now has seemingly settled around the mid 700,000 mark. NXT's kind of been hovering around the mid 600,000 mark. So 650,000 people watching per week per average. Now that number fluctuates because they chop it up into quarters when the ratings come out. But, you know, Reagan volunteered a couple of months ago to watch AEW and has already given up. I think that is a very good reflection of what's going on across the country. And I don't necessarily think those fans are like going over to NXT, because NXT is not something the average wrestling fan watches. You got to be a real diehard like me, because I want to know what's coming to the main roster next. I want to see these kids when they're still wet behind the ears, fresh out of the indies, fresh out of college, and Obafemi's case fresh out of Nigeria. That's just, I want to see the stars of tomorrow now, and so I don't know. To me, it's just like, well,
And
you got the
we're gonna
billionaire
have-
son.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say you got the billionaire son with his plaything, and doesn't look like anything's gonna change.
And when I was trying to watch, the Friday show was always much better. The Friday show seemed more like just wrestling, still with storylines, but I enjoyed it much more than I did the flagship show on Wednesday.
Mhm.
But it's just, I don't know. I don't know why I haven't. I mean, I don't have any really reason why we didn't go back and watch. We did not enjoy the Wednesday show at all.
No, again, we enjoyed the Friday show, but Friday is an odd time to watch appointment TV.
Mhm.
That's one thing to record something and watch it later, but
And I know SmackDown's on Fridays, right?
Yeah, SmackDown's on from 8 to 10, and Rampage comes on at 10 most of the time when it's
Okay.
not being preempted by basketball or hockey.
We weren't watching it at the time. I downloaded. Well, I told you when we started trying to watch, we had to download 2 apps, which I know doesn't sound like that. Sounds like hashtag first world problems, but it's 2 separate apps. You have to, you watch one on TBS's app, you watch one on TNT's app, and I just was not interested enough to keep going.
mhm.
And it's just, but I don't go out of my way to watch WWE either. It's just in our lives we're very busy, so not that you aren't busy, but like
I don't have kids.
yeah.
Let's be honest.
and-
I don't have kids.
And like when I, people know what my job is. During the year with my job, I'm in the bed by 8:30, so I can
Mhm.
get up and deal with children for 8 hours a day. So, that's another reason I think I don't watch as much during the week
Mhm.
because of that. Because, I'm an old person, and if I'm gonna be able to do my job, I gotta sleep. So
And Rick Diesel, we
Well-
already know you run 40 different operations. So
Well, but if I didn't, I don't think I could watch AEW. I watched when it first came out, when they was making all the announcements, and it was all down there in Florida and saying, "Oh, this is coming." I got excited. And then it didn't take very long till I realized that it's going to be it's like comic book wrestling, or cosplay wrestling. You know what I'm
cosplay.
saying?
Yeah. Cosplay,
And-
yes. You're not the
And
first
that
person to use
bothers
that.
me because the real wrestling fans don't take that seriously, and the young bucks could ruin a free buffet just by walking in the door.
and I'm wondering, since you're talking about, the drop off of fans, I mean, it seems like it's kind of coinciding with this young buck thing that's going on.
People just don't like them.
No. And
and I think people are now really starting to think about if they're wrestling very smart. Like I just saw that Dax is injured, so he's out now with FTR. And it Dax? Is one of them is injured. So he's out, and they said it was something, it's like it seems like every week after a show you hear somebody's hurt.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
good
What?
portion
That
of
could be
them.
desperation.
Since you just keep looking at
I don't
me.
know. It's like I'm looking at you, see if I don't want to interrupt you if you start talking because I'm trying to stop doing that
It's just weirding me out that you're looking at me while you're talking.
Yeah, well, Brian, you
Tell
haven't
her what
watched
she
the
wants to
show.
hear. Tell her what she needs to say, Darren. Brian.
Yeah, it's like Brian's like he's not watched the shit either, so he has no comment.
Well, it's because I don't.
Do you think that they're doing this more dangerous stuff just trying to get people to watch?
Well,
Yeah,
You know, it's like car wreck. Everybody wants to see a good car
that's what
wreck.
Tony
you know?
Khan likes. They know that's what Tony Khan likes is that time of crash wrestling. You know, I think that's what they're trying to do. Well, if I do matches like Tony likes, I'll get more TV time. So, you know, let me jump through this plate glass window head first. Because and if I get hurt, that's okay. They'll still pay me while I'm hurt. So,
but you know, I don't mind dangerous. I'll quit looking at Brian. I don't mind dangerous stuff. If it's, I'm just trying to how, because I mean, I've been involved in dangerous stuff. Brian's been involved in dangerous stuff. You know,
It just has to be done the right way.
yeah.
There's a safest way to do. There's really no safe way to do some things, but there's the safest way, and it just seems like they don't want to take the time to do that.
yes.
Because, you know, thinking about what happened to Adam Copeland, like if that had been a 25-year-old, it would have that would have been something spectacular. You know, we've had David Parrish came off the top of the cage last year at Deal with the Steel, you know, and it was beautiful and it looked great. But, you know, he's a young guy. I think I don't know, I think it's my old.
If I had come off the cage,
You've been like, oh my God, what the hell is that guy doing? He has a family. What the hell?
Yeah.
Like he should know better at this point in his life.
Well, it's like Javon Evans right now. He's bouncy because he's in his early 20s. Now, if he stays in wrestling another 20 years, they ain't gonna be calling him bouncy in 20 years.
No,
They're gonna be calling him a solid veteran, but they won't be calling him bouncy or high flyer. I don't think in 20 years. You know what I mean?
The only person though who has kept their bounce and their speed is Justin Flash. I mean,
Yeah.
He's not as old as we are, but you know, he's kept his step. But you know, you can watch him and see that he does what he does well, and you know, and makes smart decisions. But like,
right, and he doesn't overdo it.
No.
He does take high risks, but he doesn't do it throughout the whole match. He does it at the appropriate point in the match. He then takes does the high risk move off the top rope, and most pays off. Sometimes it doesn't, but it makes sense at the point at which he's doing it.
Mm-hmm. And I just, you know, you just keep hearing over and over again, this person's hurt, this person's hurt, this person's this person did this, you know, and it's just like I said, I am not like you and Rick. I enjoy some of the kind of wrestling that they do. You know, I liked some of the theatrics of it because, I mean, if people have been listening, they know that I was a huge fan of Lucha Underground. A lot of guys that's in AEW were in Lucha Underground. So
but not enough to watch it on a regular basis, though. Let's be clear.
No, and I'm not saying I'm talking about like Lucha Underground. You know, I'm just saying that we do like that kind of wrestling, and we still don't watch AEW.
Yep. And so,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
but you know what? Yesterday at Clash of the Castle, during the Cody Rhodes AJ Styles I Quit match, AJ gave Cody a brain buster on the announce table. And I was like, you know, and I popped for it. I'm like, oh, blah, blah, you know, creative swearing. But the thought never entered my head that Cody would be hurt. Just because they are not reckless. They are safe, even with their dangerous stuff. And Cody bled like a stuck hog after that. And rightly so. I mean, if somebody drops you head first onto a television monitor, even if it is a small computer screen, you know, sharp, pointy plastic and human flesh, not a fair fight there. And so, But yeah, and it was actually cool to see blood on a wrestling pay-per-view again yesterday. And that was nice. I mean, it wasn't like Ricky Morton being cheese grated by Ric Flair in the mid 80s, where all you can see is his eyeballs, or Eddie Guerrero in 04, against
So
Bradshaw.
they didn't black and white it.
No.
Oh, good for them.
Now, the
Yeah, good for
photos
them.
you were going to see that I'm going to show in a little while on the internet were black and whited, but during the television broadcast, no. They might black and white them when they show like clips on Raw or whatever, but
he's making peace with Dustin getting fired from WCW for juicing in that terrible tractor trailer match.
yeah. Well, Dustin was joking about that on Twitter this past week because I think it was the anniversary of that. And so, you want to see a bad wrestling match?
Oh my God! Yes,
that was on so many levels. That was bad.
I mean, it was the worst thing because we watched it recently, and if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, at one time Dustin Rhodes had a feud with the Blacktop Bully, and the Blacktop Bully went on to be.
He was Crusher Khrushchev. He was Smasher Demolition. He was the Repo Man.
And first of all, that guy's gimmick was terrible. Dustin was the natural at the time. And they had a match in the back of a tractor trailer. It was like a cage around it and a bunch of hay bales. What they had to do was climb to the top and pull the thing to make the truck go. And not only was it going down the road like 35, 40 miles per hour, beside it was the truck going just as fast to get, footage of it. So you talk about people doing stuff that's dangerous. Like there were times I'm like, if he falls off, they're going to run over him and he is going to die. I mean, it was bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. And Dustin Rhodes juiced in that, or I'm sorry, bled. Don't break my legs, Dusty. And lost his job in WCW.
Yep.
But went on to do great things. So
yeah. So like the whole Steve Austin thing. I mean,
Yeah. Sometimes, just because you get fired, don't think it's the end of the world. Sometimes it's the best thing that can happen to you in your career.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he made a lot more money as Goldust than he ever did in WCW.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Anyway. But just bad decisions. Hopefully Tony Khan doesn't get a hold of that and want to do an update of it.
Oh, somebody will definitely die if they do something like that.
Maybe that's what he wants. Maybe he wants somebody to die. I mean, I don't know.
I'm not saying that he actively wants somebody to die, but it's like Evel Knievel used to say. When people buy tickets to see me do one of these daredevil jumps, they don't buy a ticket because they want to see me die, but they don't want to miss it just in case I do, and I think
it would be a bonus.
Yeah, it would be a bonus. Well, I was there when Evel Knievel got killed. Oh, I was there. Man, remember when Darby Allin jumped off that scaffold through that plate glass window that had nails wrapped around it? And bled out right. I was in the building the night that happened. Oh, cool.
Hey, grandkids about it.
Yep.
Hey, y'all do know that AEW's coming to Winston-Salem here locally in our area.
Are they?
When?
I seen it. It's like July or August.
I thought they were going to.
Well, maybe I'll take the bullet for that and go see it live.
But see, we've discussed this before. Tony Khan is the poster child of why a money mark should stay in the back and just keep their nose out of the creative end of the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just throw the money out there, pay the bills, and let the people who know what the hell they're doing run the shows.
Yeah, but he ain't going to do that. No. It's what he needs to do, but he ain't going to.
And again, if you're the money man and whoever is running things for you, the ratings start going down, then you step in and you hire somebody else. You make changes. That's what you do as the money man. You don't just step back and do nothing, but you also don't actually try to control creative. You control the people who control creative, and you let them do what they need to do. If they're not doing their job, then you get somebody else in that spot.
Let the wrestling people do the wrestling.
Yeah.
Right.
Didn't he just hire a writer?
Yeah.
A
Yeah. He hired
woman?
some. Yeah. And
That's
he hired some people to help him.
wrestling writer.
Yeah. She worked in WWE before. Or no, it worked in WWE, I think, before and wrote for a soap opera too. And he also hired somebody to help him, I think, with the booking of the buildings and stuff. So,
I mean,
Which
obviously,
is
he's
probably
not
why they're
welcome.
going to Lawrence Joel instead of Greensboro.
well,
Well,
they'll never fill Greensboro like they did with Sting's last match again. I mean, you know,
No.
WWE can't even put
Lawrence
that kind of
Joel
crowd in there.
I mean, that's where they always had Fall Brawl. So, I mean, it's got a good history of wrestling.
Yeah.
We'll see. Reagan's having to deal with the kids. This is a good time for us to jump in and show you this video that we got sent by JAC discussing his matchup coming with Justin Flash. Let me know if you can hear it, everybody.
I held
Yes.
the AIWF Mid-Atlantic Championship for over a year. I defended that championship every 2 weeks with honor, with pride, bigger and better than anyone ever has. I beat former AIWF world champions while I had that championship. I main evented every show I was on, and I was the most talked about guy in the history of that company. And Justin Flash beat me. Well, you beat me, but let's see. There were several ref interferences in that match. And hell, it was over a year ago, and you got what? How many times did you get a chance to wrestle me? 3 times, and I beat you 3 times. You beat me 1. Let's see the freaking math. That don't make sense why I never got a rematch. Not even a phone call. I never got a damn phone call at my house for my rematch. I made money. I made box office bigger and better than anyone ever had. But the offices don't want me back. Why? Because there were riots? Why? Because there was actual entertainment? Why? Because I didn't lose my championship to some other guy while I was the current champion and then cry and moan about it online and not really do anything about it, but go to the office, hey, please give me a ladder match. Can I have a ladder match? You're a crybaby, Justin. You always have been. See, I earned my opportunities. I beat David Parrish in the middle of the ring. And then I challenged you. I told you who Daddy was. I told you who was the guy that always has had your number. And I can't get this thought out of my head. You're not better than me, Justin. You never have been. And this Saturday, I'm going to beat you and take back my championship. Because God knows that stupid place deserves to have a champion worth talking about.
Pretty intense.
He's always so intense, though.
Yep.
But he's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong.
I mean,
he's also.
I'm not saying that he's not wrong by saying he's a better champion than Justin Flash. I'm saying he's not wrong about the attention he brought. You know what I'm saying? And he's not wrong about how long he held the belt and the people he beat for the belt. And he was an amazing champion. You cannot deny that.
No, you can't. But at the same time, you can't deny that Justin Flash beat him.
Right.
And so Justin Flash is the rightful champion. And can Jack beat Justin Flash? Yes, he can. We've seen him do it before. But also, we've seen Justin Flash defeat Jack before. So for me, this is a 50-50 coin toss. Either man could walk out of the building that this Saturday as the champion.
And let's be honest too. I mean, part of the reason JAC did not get a rematch probably as quickly as he wanted to, he simply wasn't available. I mean, he's been wrestling in a lot of other places. So, I mean, and as a promotion, stick up for the office a little bit here. You got to make your plans. You got to book, you got to book your talent. You got to set the card. So you can't just sit around and wait on 1 or 2 guys. And if they're, hey, I'm gonna run some I'm gonna work at some promotions in South Carolina and Tennessee for a while, and then I'll see about coming back. Well, okay, so you move on. I mean,
Yeah.
if somebody
Right.
tells you they're not going to be around for a while, you take them at their word. And it's not like he and Clara have not been busy. I mean, hell, JAC was Tim Storm's partner on NWA Wrestling, and that's the first time I watched NWA in probably 4 years. So,
Right.
I mean, he has been a busy bee. So, but
Mhm.
it's not all on the office,
Oh
because
no, it's not like the guys in the back were protecting Justin Flash from JAC. It was, yeah, you're right. It was a simple thing of JAC not being available
Mhm.
for a rematch. I mean, we would love to see a rematch.
God,
You see,
yes.
I mean, those matches, every match they was a classic and another match.
Different
So
computer, remember?
Oh, yeah. That's why they're a little choppy. Yeah, Brian and
Oh,
Reagan, y'all
well.
are a little choppy. Yeah, that's why I was
okay.
cocking my head like the RCA dog.
We're watching Ryan the robot.
Yeah.
Oh. And now I
Rick
can't
Diesel,
hear.
something happened to your sound, Rick Diesel. I think you may have bumped something. I can
Oh,
hear you,
Lord.
but barely. It's like your microphone turned off.
I don't know.
Quite the professional group right here.
Yes, we spared every expense, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Nope.
can hear you. You're just real low. You're just real low. It's like your microphone turned off.
That's weird. It makes
And it-
There you go. Wait a
Wait.
minute. Talk again.
Huh?
There you
Yeah,
go. Now
Okay,
you're
now
back.
we can hear you.
I
Well,
didn't
yeah.
do anything to it
Well, maybe you bumped into something.
either time that I know of. Okay. Who knows?
Well, look who it is. Sergeant Stryker has entered the
Ah!
waiting room. Should I let him in?
So I finally, yeah, he asked about an hour ago and I said, I told him what he might be able to do. So that was an hour ago. So,
Yeah. All right. So he's finally joining us.
but like the thing with JAC, you're right. He has been, I mean, he's been very busy. It's not like the office was like, screw JAC, screw Jack. Like, it was legitimately a logistics issue of
Yeah. God,
when
yeah.
can we get him? When can we get him back? When can we, get this rematch going? JC is a phenomenal worker, but sometimes he's a little intensely whiny. So,
But again,
Wow.
it is.
I'm
it
glad
But
you
is-
you
said
know,
that, not
but you-
me.
yeah, I don't know that I would use that, but I know what you're saying. But that's the way you get opportunities in wrestling is you push for them. Is you say,
Yes.
I need I get a shot at that belt because I deserve it, and I deserve it.
Mhm.
It's not, hey guys, when you get a chance, do you think I can get a shot at that belt again? Those guys get pushed to the side. You kick the door down and say, I deserve that shot. Give it to me. Those are the guys who get the shot, and that's why that's one of the reasons JAC is getting these opportunities is because he doesn't pussyfoot around. He tells them, I deserve this, and they're like, yeah, you're right, and they give it to him.
and he does deserve it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does. But another thing, and I'll give the devil his dues, is when he had that belt, he was there. He
Yeah.
was reliable. He was a fighting champion.
Yep.
But when he lost the belt, it's like all these people who've been waiting for JAC to become available. All of a sudden, the world opened up for him. And everybody started jumping on his bandwagon, and he was everywhere. So, giving him credit while he had that belt, he stayed loyal to the Mid Atlantic. But when he lost it, he was like, "All right, I'm not a champion there anymore. So, bring on the opportunities." And they was like they dumped it like out of a dump truck on him. And now he's going to Japan. I mean, what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, and again, it's even if we had been able to bring him in for a rematch for that belt, would he then have been able to defend it? on a regular
Right.
basis with his heavy schedule in Tennessee and South Carolina and all these other places.
Well, and yeah, it ain't like he could just look at all those guys and say, "Well, I'm Mid-Atlantic champion again, so I need to cancel all these dates."
Right.
That ain't the way this business works on the indies.
No.
No.
So, you know,
And it's working out for him the way he's running his
Yes.
business. So.
so I don't know if he wins that belt on Saturday night. What is the scenario afterwards?
He's
Well,
taking it to Japan.
Because his schedule has not lightened up; it's just got worse. So,
We know we won't see him for 3 months.
yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly. That was what I was getting ready to say. You know, he's not going to give up at Japan tour or whatever just to hold the Mid-Atlantic and everything else like that. He's going to be gone for a while.
And the belt will go with him.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's not like we won't have a champion. We'll just have to have a champion that can drop by. He'll be our Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
Yep.
And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant Stryker has joined us after some technical difficulties. Welcome, Sergeant Stryker. It's been a while since you've been here.
Hey, it's good to be back, Mad Matt Carter, Brian Danzig, Reagan, and Rick Diesel. I have been away for a while. I've been going through some stuff, and I don't know if y'all know that. If anybody knows that, just this time last Sunday, I was in the hospital for 4 days and didn't even know where the hell I was at.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, but I mean,
thanks for coming on here and bringing us all down. I appreciate
No,
that.
no, I'm not
Happy
trying to
Father's
bring
Day.
y'all down.
Happy Father's Day,
I'm not trying to
motherfuckers.
bring y'all down.
Just
It had to
because
happen.
Eminem come back don't mean you have to come back dressed like a rap star.
Well, I'm not dressed like
He
a
is
rap
kinda
star.
He is kind of dressed like a rap star. No, we're
But-
glad to see you up and back at him.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. With me being in the hospital and everything, and some stuff that I've been going through personally, it's opened my eyes now and made me realize that I need to be pushing myself to be more interactive and everything. And I was on here for the longest time, and then I just dropped off Facebook. And not Facebook. Well, now I have dropped off Facebook again, but yeah. So I want to get more interactive, and I want to try to be here every Sunday now.
All right. Well, you're more than welcome. So let's get into Clash at the Castle, because there's a few things I want to talk about with you guys. Did anybody on the panel see the show besides me? Let me show of hands. No. Okay.
No. And this is going to make for riveting conversation.
It's-
I did read some stuff. I have read some stuff. So.
Okay, so I'm going to run through this real quick, but I just want, because a lot of the other podcasts are going to cover a lot of this stuff, but there is a couple of points that I want to hit on. Again, it was another 5-match deal like we had, I mean, industry leader, industry fault, so they started out, which I thought was kind of odd, with Cody and AJ for the WWE title. Notice Dan Engler, the referee, that's kind of a big deal. And he informed them at the beginning, as you can see, Samantha Irvin there, and Dan Engler told him, "Oh, you can do anything you want. The only way this match can end is one of you say, 'I quit.'" I mean, pretty cut and dry, right? All right, so they start having the match, and, it's a typical wrestling match, but, with the "I quit" rules. They were channeling their inner Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard in this match. I got to give them credit. And they would scream into the microphone like that. And Corey Graves gave a history lesson of, how the match, Michael Cole said the first "I Quit" match in WWE was at WrestleMania 11 between Bret Hart and Bob Backlund. And Corey Graves commented, "Yeah, but the match was popularized in 1985 when Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard had it at Starrcade." And I thought that was really cool. There's the brain buster on the table, right? And you can see the look on Corey Graves' face and the look in the people in the crowd. There's actually a child frightened right there. See that? Yeah. And so, and of course, this is why I didn't put it in the slideshow. I want to make everybody clear that I'm getting these off WWE.com
Are they taking water breaks between matches now?
What do you mean?
I noticed there's a water cooler over there.
That's the
That's
Prime
the
hydration station.
advertisement.
That's
Yeah,
the
that's an
Prime
advertisement.
station.
So
Prime
it's not.
Energy.
I know it's product placement, but how do they use it? Do the guys run out and drink water between matches, or
No,
they get one
somebody-
on the way back to the dressing room? I don't understand why it's in that position.
It's just there to make you think about Prime, and sometimes somebody goes through it. As you
Uh-huh,
can see,
and
some of the bottles knocked off of it, right?
Yeah, I
See?
was getting ready to say there are some bottles on the bottom laying on the floor right there, so you know somebody's got to be sneaking and drinking one.
Hey, y'all remember the Father's Day conversation we had a few minutes ago?
Yeah.
No, I'm depressed now.
Okay, if you look at Kevin right now, you see the kid's point of view I was talking about.
I just said to Brian, it looks like his phone is in his crotch. I muted.
Oh, hold on. There we go. Well, see what it was I'm trying to get it to where I'm not looking down and it looks like my eyes are closed. So I turned the camera upside down right here and didn't realize where it was positioned. So yeah.
It's gonna be so entertaining going forward. Y'all know that, don't you?
Here we go. Is that better?
There you go.
All right.
Okay, where were we, Matt?
If Otis Campbell was on a podcast, Lord have mercy. They did black and white out the close-up shots because there was blood in this match. Cody Rhodes started bleeding first. As you can see, Dan Engler has the gloves on. AJ Styles would bleed later. And I mean, it did get pretty vicious. You can see this. This is not a good time for Cody. I mean, they
such good photographers up there, though.
Yeah. They lay them in, boy. This is kind of where they were screaming like, hell no, when the referee would ask him. AJ took off Dan Engler's belt and started whipping Cody with it, which is some pretty old Southern wrestling. And then put the squeeze on him, and I don't know what happened there. I can't remember.
See, there's that damn water bottle.
Prom.
No, that was a water bottle. Yeah, that's a water bottle. Yeah. No, Prime's $2 a bottle. You don't want to just smash that over somebody's head. There's
Cody's mom.
That is Cody's mom. AJ was out there taunting her. And then after she hit
she
him,
shocked the shit out of Ricky Morton sitting over on the side.
But she slapped him twice and told him, fuck you. I heard it because I watched the live version. And,
wow, that's nice.
And then when he started to go after her, but then thought twice of it, because the crowd like kind of came up around her. I think there would have been a riot if he would have started over that rail. I'm serious. And then the people in Scotland start chanting, fuck you, AJ. The whole arena, fuck you. And they could, it was on Peacock, so they'll cut it out of the replay. But during the live event, not much. I mean, why would you? It's a premium live event. Anybody that's there knows what they're in for. But it was to the point that it was so loud that that Corey Graves was like, God, these people in Scotland are such foul mouths.
Well, now, if this particular incident had it right there that had happened in Memphis in 1980, that old gal took a beating, boy.
Yeah. She hit him, and then he kept going back over there, and she was right in his face. And now this was funny because Cody threw a chair, hit AJ, knocked him off the ropes, and through this table. And people have been posting on Twitter clips of that with cartoon sound effects, and it is hilarious. Oh man. It was funny when it happened. I mean, it looked painful for AJ. I don't think that was meant to be funny. Because he's trying to do the phenomenal forearm, and Cody just chucked a chair at him and whammo. Then the Cody cutter. I'm trying to find the point in the match where Cody was knocked out, because this is getting kind of close to the end right here, I believe. Is he already got him cuffed now? Yeah, that's after he got him cuffed to the rope. So that's how Cody won. AJ said, I quit. And before he dropped the stairs on him. And look, Mom's so happy. So, Cody held on to the title. The weird thing that happened in that match that the reason I wanted to discuss it with you guys is Cody got knocked out by AJ at some point. And AJ looked at the referee and said, "Stop the match." And Dan Engler looked at him and like, "I'm not stopping a match. It's an I quit match. He has to say I quit. The match keeps going until somebody says I quit." And I thought, where have I seen this before? And I just couldn't put my finger on it. And then I remember Deal with the Steel last year where we had the same incident with Mickey Fulp and Joe Harrison. Remember how Joe got knocked out in that I quit match and the referee stopped the match? What do y'all think is best? I mean, now look, hindsight is 2020. I think Reggie at that time, at that moment, made the best call, what he thought was right. And, he's got integrity, even though I didn't think at the right time it was the right call. I know he did what he thought was best to protect the wrestlers from themselves. I'll go around the room. Did Dan Engler Cody Rhodes ended up holding on to the championship, but when you're having an I quit match, now that we've seen this, should there be a precedent now? If it's an I quit match, if you sign that dotted line on an I quit match, the risk going in. If you get knocked out, the referee is powerless to stop the match. He cannot do anything until somebody says I quit. Should that be a precedent moving forward? I'll start with Brian and Reagan.
I don't think so. I think that it's I quit is the default, but I think once one of the competitors in the match can no longer defend themselves, if they're unconscious, the match is over, as far as I'm concerned, because he was unconscious and regained consciousness later on, but what if he didn't? Are they just gonna let him lie there until he wakes up? It's just, to me, a match should be over if one of the people can no longer defend themselves. If they're knocked out, I think a match should be stopped at that point for the safety of both guys.
Mm-hmm. They'll probably just have like a lights out match or something like that, where the object is to knock the other guy out.
Right.
That'd be interesting.
But again, if it's no matter what the stipulation is, I think if somebody is knocked out, they can defend themselves anymore. And again, if you see somebody like they get knocked out, you've seen this in boxing before. Somebody, or even in MMA, you see somebody will take a shot and they'll go limp and they'll hit the ground, but then they'll get right back up.
Mm-hmm.
In a case like that, then yeah, if they can keep fighting after that, but if they're out and they're laid out, or they're no longer fighting, I think the match should be stopped at that point.
And just before you go, Reagan, just to point out, that photo we saw with the water bottle, it jogged my memory now. That's what AJ did to revive Cody. When Dan Engler told him that, he went out under the ring and there was water bottles out there at ringside, and he went and got one and woke him up. And even AJ was commenting to the referee, "Well, this is stupid. I have to wake him up to make him say I quit." So,
right. So, well, that, and just for the safety, if he's got knocked out, more than likely he has a concussion. So, and now that the things that we know now about concussions, the match definitely shouldn't continue at that point.
All right.
He held on to the title, but how many, it may have taken a year or two off of his career now.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'd say that match shortened both their careers.
Fighting with a concussion, taking all that damage after being knocked out, who knows how much that has taken off of his career now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking historically, and Matt, you're going to have to help me with this. I have seen matches that were I Quit matches that were stopped by the throwing in of a towel.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so, historically, we've seen matches that are I Quit matches end with no one saying I quit.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's kind of that's a similar thing to what Brian was saying. Like, you would have a manager who would see, sometimes it was, somebody threw it in when it wasn't them, but it's a manager seeing that his wrestler cannot continue, that nobody said I quit, but they're just taking so much damage, and they're getting so injured that they throw in the towel to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm leaning to where he's saying, like, I understand that it's supposed to be somebody says I quit, but again, if he's knocked out, are they just going to have him lay there for 20 hours before they take him to the hospital to wake him up and say, and I know that seems like an exaggeration, but I mean, really, how long would they let him lay there? Like, what happens if he had not been awakened by the water? So I don't know. That's my opinion on
that. And the
you don't know. Thank you for that very political answer. You guys, she sounded like a damn politician talking.
And also in the Magnum TA Tully Blanchard match, just like Tully said afterwards, he said, "I never said I quit."
Yeah.
They said, "Do you quit?" And he said, "Yes, yes, yes."
Mm-hmm.
And if the ref is saying, "Do you quit?" and the guy says, "Yes," no, you have to say, "I quit."
Yeah.
And it's like, and I guess that was Tully's out to say,
Semantics.
"I never said I quit." Well, they said, "Do you quit?" and you were screaming, "Yes, yes, yes."
Yeah.
To me, that means you lost.
Of course, he did have part of a wooden folding chair sticking into his head.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I don't blame him for screaming, "Yes, yes, yes."
Uh-oh.
With a sharp wooden stick getting closer and closer to my eye, it's sticking in my forehead, I would have been screaming it too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he technically did not say I quit.
Yep. All right, Rick Diesel, tee it
No,
up.
I want Kevin to go next.
Okay.
Because I have an interesting take on this that
Right.
just might change the way AIWF Mid-Atlantic goes forward with these type of matches.
All right, Kevin Stryker, go ahead, sir.
I kind of, in a way, sort of agree with Brian and Reagan to an extent. My rebuttal to that statement is, unless it's a work, the referee at that point should be down there checking on him, not asking to say, "I quit, I quit." If he's not moving or knocked out, he needs to be, I guess, doing a whole squeezing of the hand to make sure the wrestler responds, so to speak, nonchalantly, to make sure it's not really a work. Now, if he's really knocked the fuck out, then he needs to be throwing up the X sign and getting the fucking medical attention people out there. That's the only thing that I can see wrong with that. And Reggie making his call, yes, I agree with his call too, that if he's knocked out, but at the same time, the referee needs to check to make sure before the X's are thrown up. And if the X ain't thrown up, then the referee knows, hey, continue the fucking match.
Well, yeah. Well, that was our segment for the fucking smart marks, I guess.
Right.
We try to keep a little kayfabe around here, my friend.
It may be, but still, wrestlers ain't dumb. They know what's going on, but they know the truth signals for somebody's hurt.
Suspended disbelief.
Yeah,
that's what we're trying to keep up here.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't watch Yellowstone and be like, "Oh, bullshit! Kevin Costner never murdered nobody." So yeah.
Yeah,
Based presentation.
I mean, to take all the other
Kevin.
things away.
Trying
I've
not to
already-
break
Kevin.
kayfabe on this show. Shit.
Kevin, stop.
Now, you have been gone for a
Done.
while. Anyway, here we go. Here's my take on this, Matt Carter.
All right.
All right. I could look at this two separate ways.
Uh-huh.
All right. The first way is the referee, they should have a time. If somebody gets knocked out and they're not revived within a certain amount of time, stop the match.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give it a time limit. But
There you go.
and this may change the way we do things in AIWF Mid-Atlantic. If somebody gets knocked out in an I Quit match, any match, I don't know, but it's mainly an I Quit match, if that's the rules we're going to go by, I say let's get them out of the ring, take them to the back, or set them in a chair, lay them on a gurney or something over to the side, go on to the next match. Then when they wake up, restart that match.
Oh, Jesus.
You're
It
really
may be in the middle of the
calling
match,
for some-
the next match. If he wakes up in the middle of the next match, then that match has to restart, and you got two matches going at one time.
Oh, wow.
See, I'm of the
What's wrong with that?
protect your brain.
Yeah.
Like we know.
Yeah,
a
that's
lot
what I was
more.
kind of going with. Is if it really
I
got
mean,
knocked out.
Yeah, you have him checked while he's knocked out. Juliana can go over there and shove a stick down his throat or something, see if he's still breathing.
That's right.
Yeah,
She's a
we
trained
have a-
first
Yeah.
responder.
She can bake him a biscuit. But I mean, I'm just saying.
Feed him a
What
dog
if,
bone.
what if you just move them over to the side when they wake up to say, are you okay? Can you continue? And if they can, start the match back up. They share the ring.
Well, I mean, I thought they handled it. If you go back and watch the match, I thought Dan Engler handled it just fine. I mean, he was only laying there like 10, 15 seconds before AJ threw the water in his face and brought him back around.
Well, that goes back to my first point.
Do they still make smelling salts? They still make those?
Yeah, don't they? Surely. Just
I don't
break
know.
that little thing, shove it in their face.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say that you could keep just a jar of smelling salts at ringside, and hey, that'll bring them back. If you use the smelling salts and they don't come out of it, you got a head injury. You do.
Yeah, that's true. But
So,
on my other point though, if you want to restart the match after they wake up, you do have a time limit on that too. If the main event is over and the show's over and they still hadn't woke up, then they lose.
well, they should have been probably taken to a hospital.
Yeah, I would.
Okay. How about if they go to the hospital and wake up and come back and the show's still going on and they can continue, you restart the match.
I had their head wrapped.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The doctor, I don't know if the doctor's going to clear him to come back up. That's like, it's like, remember that movie from back in the 90s with Van Damme in it called Kickboxer?
Yeah.
Remember when they broke his brother's back and they just took him out behind the arena and set him down on the concrete and then locked the gate? It's like, God, that's what that reminds me of. It's just barbaric.
If anybody's ever watched rugby, you know what I'm saying? If anybody's ever watched rugby, they'll take them off the field all the time and wrap their head up and send them back in.
Yeah, well, Australians are crazy for the most part. I mean, they like to fight.
I mean, they do have not even the Australians, but I mean, you see it in the NFL and everything like that all the time. If they take a really hard hit, they got the intents out there like for concussion protocol, and I guess they can do really quick MRIs or CAT scans, whatever it is they do to check for it. And if they don't see nothing, then they're clear to come back.
They got stray cats up there at the freaking park. We can run one around their head.
Yeah.
Do a cat scan.
Make sure they're okay.
Yeah. That reminds me of an old joke from John Boy and Billy about a cat scan. So look, also on that card, they had a triple threat women's match for the women's tag team championship. Bianca and Jade Cargill defended against Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, who were from Scotland, as well as Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark.
I did see this. I did not watch it, but I've seen a TikTok about it.
Yeah. So Alba Fire evidently, and I have not looked into it because I did not want any more bad news. But had some kind of, I think somebody close to her family had passed away or something recently in the last week. And so this is pretty cool for them because they really hadn't been getting a lot of TV time on Raw since they came to the main roster. And it's unfortunate because they're both really talented. And Isla Dawn is scary. I mean, she's a full-blown witch. I mean, when she was in NXT, she was using magic spells on people. I mean, they were saying yesterday on the pay-per-view that if Isla Dawn's the kind of girl that if you don't go on a second date with, your pets start disappearing. And so I was like, wow, that's pretty good. And then said, what was remember the movie The Craft?
Yes.
Remember that movie? It was real popular in the 90s. They said that Isla Dawn was like, what was the one that was bad?
Aretha Balk's character.
Yeah, but what was her character's name? Nancy? Yeah, Isla Dawn is like with the movie Craft, and everybody is Nancy. You know, and I agree with that. She's very scary looking, but in her regular street clothes just seem like the gal next door type. So I don't know at the press conference, but kudos to them. So Scotland got their title. Sami Zayn wrestled Chad Gable 1-on-1. This is Brian. I've been talking about this ever since they got this feud going, how much I've been looking forward to this. And they finally had the big match on pay-per-view. They put on a clinic. They did. The finish was a little, but yeah, with Otis and all that kind of stuff. Zayn ended up winning, but Chad Gable is full-blown evil now. And everybody that watches WWE, you are in for a treat. Because if Kurt Angle and Owen Hart had a baby, it would be Chad Gable. And so get ready because it's, things are going to change. And then another Scotland person, Piper Niven, took on Bayley for the women's championship. When Piper came into the ring, I felt for her coming down the aisle because I knew she was like Chad Gable. When Vince was there, Vince turned him into a comedy act, started calling him Shorty G, and had him doing comedy, which he can do. But he also changed Piper Niven's name to Dewdrop and kind of made her a sideshow, type freak type thing. And when Vince left, all that changed. She's back to being Piper Niven. And I mean, I've seen her wrestle some on TV, but I mean, never really anything that could impress me that much. I mean, she's okay when she teams with Chelsea Green. And Chelsea Green yesterday, oh my God, she's when she was out there, she was stealing the show. I'll tell y'all something funny in a second. Piper looked like she was about to throw up when they were doing the introductions. But man, after her and Bayley got in there, it's like playing football. You get that fucking first hit, and then you're good. All the nerves go away. I guess it's the same for wrestlers too, right? You get in there and you start popping each other, man, and it's like, okay, let's go. And when that thing clicked for Piper, boy, she was on it, and she gave Bayley all she could handle. Piper Niven, I am in your fan club now, girl. I mean, great match. And Chelsea Green was so funny. She did something I have never seen before. She was arguing with Charles Robinson, and she was explaining that Bayley had stepped on her hand. And she goes, can't you see? And she accidentally poked Charles Robinson in the eyes 3 times. And he went, like, it wasn't enough to hurt him, just enough to surprise him. But you could tell he was shocked. And the announcers were like, did she just poke Charles Robinson in the eyes? Like that, because you could not believe it. And he looks around and he's like, you're out of here. Like that, he throws her out. And Piper Niven starts yelling at Charles, and you could see they got the camera on Chelsea, but you could still hear them over on the other side. And you could hear Charles. It's like, why did you do that? And she goes, she poked my damn eyes.
That's funny.
And then she came back to the ring later with a lucha mask on because she thought, of course, the referee wouldn't recognize her if she had a hood on. But guess what? He did.
Wasn't a
Bailey ended up winning, but
or whatever.
Yeah,
we kind of went over. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Bailey ended up winning the match, but that was Piper Niven's coming out party. The only reason she lost that match was because Bailey's a salty ass old veteran, and you're gonna have to do something mighty spectacular, get up pretty early in the morning to beat her. So that was that. What do you want to say, Reagan?
So going back to the Jade Cargill match, this is what I had seen on the internet all day yesterday and today. Apparently, Shayna Baszler put her in a chokehold, and I don't know if it was too tight or not, but they're calling this another Jade Cargill botch. She actually tapped.
Yes, she did. Yes,
and has driven the internet insane yesterday and today because they were saying that it was probably because she had it on too tight and she was telling her to loosen up. But I guess where she's still a little green, she doesn't know how to do the Ric Flair, thing,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure that's what it was. But yeah, it's people are just all over about that.
Well, they're all over her about slipping on the ropes too. I mean, when she tried to come in like springboard style off the top rope. But somebody posted on Twitter today that said, "Hey, for those of y'all that get on Jade Cargill about slipping off the ropes, take a look at this." And they showed an incident where every match on that card had an incident with the ropes, and so I'm just like, well, sometimes the top rope looked like it wasn't tight enough. Sometimes it looked like, it was too tight,
Mm-hmm.
Are they still using the real rope up there? They gone back to cable?
No, they're using real rope still. Best I can tell anyway.
Yeah. Because you can tell because that like one turnbuckle will have like a big bunch,
big knot
of it. Yeah, and you can see where they tied it. The thing is, though, even with guys or women or anybody who is a high flyer who does springboard moves all the time and execute them flawlessly night after night, you will still see them sometimes slip. Their feet sometimes slip. Even the best of the best at springboarding off the top rope mess up sometimes. So you can't really say anything. I mean, I wouldn't really say anything about anybody messing up a springboard move off the rope.
Well, and also my wife pointed out that it looked like it was a little warmer in the building that they were used to, because she noticed a lot of the wrestlers sweating. And at WWE, that's one thing usually on television matches, unless they go like more than 20 minutes, you usually don't see them sweating, the men or the women, because the cardio is just fucking out of this world. They're like, a racehorse. And so that she noticed that. So maybe it was another case like Saudi Arabia where the building wasn't properly cooled, or, they
moisture on the ropes. Moisture on the ropes, probably.
Well, I was wondering if maybe they had some kind of union or something over there in Scotland that, they had to let set up the ring and maybe didn't tighten up the ropes or something.
Rope lube.
I mean, and it's just one of those things that happens. You can do 100 springboards that look perfect, and statistically you're going to have one or two that don't look good. I mean, it's just,
and that'll be the one everybody zeroes in on.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, internet.
And maybe she is too green to be on the main stage at this point, but I don't think that's a sign of it messing up a springboard.
No, but she did look lost after it happened. She looked like, oh God.
Yeah, I think,
that's another thing is it's not messing up, it's how you recover afterwards.
And I think she has she has trouble recovering.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that in several matches of hers, not to break that fourth wall about wrestling like Kevin does, but with the tapping, that's something you learn as time goes by. Once you become a ring, worn, once you get your feet wet a little bit more, you learn what to do to have them ease off of you.
Yeah, because the announcers couldn't cover it up because it was right in front of the camera.
I mean, it was like this.
Yeah, they were like,
I
did
saw
she
the
tap
video.
out? But the good thing was the referee was behind them. So the referee did not see it. I mean, some referees, I know when I refereed, if something like that happened, that's calling for the bell. I mean, me and everybody in the audience saw it. Sorry.
I mean, that's what happened with Kevin Phoenix in a match in
Virginia,
in Tennessee, right?
That was,
or was it West Virginia? I don't know.
I think it was Virginia.
Oh,
Were you talking about the nut shot?
yeah.
Yeah, it's in Virginia.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, she's gonna get there, but sometimes I think she was thrown in there real fast.
I think they've done everything with her too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's just not been ready for any of it. But they do it because of her look. And she does have an amazing look.
She's like Storm of the
TV
X-Men that came to
She's
life.
TV perfect almost. But that don't mean that they just got to throw her out there and let her make a fool of herself.
Right. She's not going to lose that look in a year or 2 years. She's still going to look like that next year, this time next year. So get her some experience. Get her on one of the lower indies and let her work out how to actually do it.
And considering they took established TNA stars, established ones, and put them through NXT. Bobby Roode. I mean, he was a tag team champion. He was
a hell of a worker.
Hell of a worker over in TNA. They put him right into NXT. And that's one of the reasons that James Storm didn't stay with WWE is because they wanted to put him through NXT first. I mean, how many people do you see come from other organizations and they put in a little time in NXT? And I think it makes them better.
They should have called up Al Snow and run her through 6 months of Ohio Valley.
Ethan Page just came from AEW and he's at NXT. He just main evented with Trick Williams. So,
I mean, and that's where Ricochet started, right? Didn't they put him through NXT?
Nope.
And he came directly from Lucha Underground, to kind of, if you look at the timeline. So it's like, why not put her through there, have her hone her craft? Because once she gets there, she's going to be an unstoppable force. But, how long can people feel, how long will people be excited about seeing her if they feel like she botches every time?
Not long.
Exactly. And that's what I was getting ready to say, because to me right now, the WWE, with them throwing her out there like that, green and all, in those top line matches, all they're doing is ruining her pride and her character. She's going out there on main stage.
Yeah, I've been saying since that. I'd say that when she was in AEW, she's not ready for main events. She's not ready for, upper level matches.
It's like I always talk about, because WCW failed a lot at a lot of things. They would take these power plant guys and like push them into the ring, and then they wouldn't perform, and then they job them out, and then they're gone. How many times did we see that happen historically with WCW?
Not everybody can be Alex Wright.
Well, I was thinking about Max Muscle. Somebody went through the power plant. They tried to push him. Then they brought him back as Max and tried to do so. And then they weren't good enough. And you can't continuously be on TV and not be good enough. Because like I said, people are just going to stop wanting to watch her.
Yeah.
I'll tell y'all a funny story about how Alex Wright helped me score one night. And he wasn't even there. So but it's not
Did
appropriate.
you steal his dance moves?
No.
Hey. Oh,
I took
he was a hell of a worker.
I took a girl to the Roanoke Civic Center to see WCW back in '96. We went on a date. We actually went out, ate steaks and all that kind of stuff. And she was really excited about Alex Wright when he came out there. And I'll just say that I think it worked to my benefit later on. Thank you, Das Wunderkind.
Oh my God.
It's some dance moves, man.
Hey, it was long before I met my wife. So.
He had a lot packing in them trunks.
Well, man. So I've always been grateful to him for that. You know, that night went great from start to finish. So and he was part of making that happen. So
he was kind of like whitewater rafting. You go over the ripples, through the big ripples, and then hit the rock at the bottom.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord. I got to read ads now, and I'm not going to be able to do it. So you guys are getting a quick treatment this week. Sorry, I'm gonna apologize to you in advance, branch management and Tease Treats. But we're gonna cut through these pretty quick. Let me see. So it says branch management, they're our oldest sponsor. We'll get back to the wrestling talk real quick here. I assume, Rick Diesel, that all these potted plants are about gone.
They are gone, brother.
Yep. But anyway, they can cover you any type of landscaping needs that you have, general contracting, all that stuff, pressure washing, help keep it long, clean and green, weed eating, whatever you need. Call them up, 336-648-2487. That's 336-648-2487. Again, any type of general contracting, gutter cleaning, lawn care work, they'll help you keep your property looking great and better than your neighbors, which is really important. 336-648-2487. It's not really important that it looks better than your neighbors. It's just important that you're happy with it, and they'll help you keep it that way. There we are on YouTube again, real quick. And Tease Treats is our most delicious sponsor. They operate the food truck that runs a concession at wrestling, and they're all over the place. They were at a Juneteenth festival yesterday in Elkin, and they had quite the big turnout at that, didn't they, Rick Diesel?
I think he's missing an action.
Yeah. Oh, I can't see. So, anyway, they were at the Juneteenth celebration at in Elkin yesterday, or Dobson, or wherever it was. 336-755-8204. You can find out where they're going to be or try to book them for your event. That's Tease Treats, best concessions in wrestling. No doubt about it. All right. And I got to find the copy for this. Hang on just a second. Can you still see the slideshow?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
No, I want you to see that right now. Because I got to find this. Bear with me. Not prepared. There we go.
Like you was never a Boy Scout.
No. Never got molested as a child. I'm glad. I shouldn't have took that shot at the Scouts. That wasn't nice. Look, Secondhand Heroes and Home for Wayward Villains is a gaming store that also features collectible toys, retro gaming consoles, games, as well as free-to-play arcade cabinets and comic books featuring Magic the Gathering, casual play, as well as tournaments. They also host D&D campaigns several times a week. Located at 18184 Leesville Road in Evington, Virginia. Secondhand Heroes is your one-stop shop to get your nerd on. All nerd all the time. They open 7 days a week at 11 a.m. and they don't close until the dice stop rolling. Excuse me. I'm a little choked up here. Been talking too much.
I had to take a phone call. Sorry.
They buy, sell, trade, barter, and haggle. Specializing in collectibles of all types, both vintage and modern. They have table space available for Magic the Gathering, D&D, or any other tabletop game. You can even bring your own tabletop game and host your game night with us. They feature older console games like Nintendo and Sega classics for your play enjoyment, as well as 25 arcade cabinets with hundreds of old school favorites, all set to free play. On Monday night, D&D group have been running for over a year, and they welcome newcomers, both experienced and inexperienced. Yeah, man, it does sound like
I'd like to, I know it's a ride, but I just like to go up there sometime, just check it out.
Yeah, it does seem pretty
For
cool.
real. Hey, Matt, but I just got a question though.
What?
You did say you could bring your own game up there, right?
Yeah, that's what they said. The ad says, yeah.
Okay. Well, what if you bring beer pong?
Beer pong.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Well, I mean, it's a bring your own game, right?
bring your own tabletop game.
That's
That's
a tabletop game.
Yeah, it is a tabletop game.
Technically.
You line cups on the table.
You'd get
That
ball in the
you'd-
cup.
that is
that'd
a
go over about like 10
connotation
wrestling
of
tournaments.
tabletop, but the denotation is like actual games.
Yeah, and then the ABC in Virginia be informed that you're playing beer pong and don't have a license to sell alcohol on premises.
Yeah.
Ouchie.
AC
Just
said
don't do
after
that.
hours, you can do
Well,
the
it's a
beer
BYO.
pong.
Oh yeah, AC said Brian said AC said after hours.
Ah, okay.
There you go.
Hey, is AC in the chat?
He is.
Is that original? Is that chic artwork I'm looking at? I believe it is. It looks just like it.
What?
Chic.
The Sheiks stuff.
Chic.
Oh.
That's Chic's artwork on the little look
Yes.
like a refrigerator right there.
He says, yeah, he said yes.
Okay. Let me tell you something. For everybody who's out there, and I know most people don't know who Chic is, but he is one hell of an artist. And if you can get some of his artwork through Secondhand Heroes, go up there and get it, call them, have them ship it to you. It don't matter. I feel like that they would be a place you could get his artwork through. And just some of the stuff he does is amazing.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I ain't saying it just because he did one of me, but
Well, and didn't he designed Ricky the Ricky Steamboat action figure? He's wearing the tights that she designed for him, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Very interesting. All right, so let me finish reading this. They also host video game competitions for games like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Mario Kart, and Super Smash Brothers, just to name a few. Something for the gamer and collector in us all. Now, here's the key, folks. Call to make arrangements for your game night. Don't just show up. Call to make arrangements for your game night at 434-317-0121. I'll give you that number one more time because it's not on the screen. 434-317-0121, or shoot us an email with any questions at secondhandheroesva@gmail.com. Now, the important thing to remember about that email address, it's not second spelled out. Second spelled out. It's 2ND hand heroes va@gmail.com. So remember, second, the abbreviation, the 2 and the ND. The inventory
That'd be a
change.
great thing for like parties, birthday
God,
parties, nerd bachelorette parties, or bachelor parties, or family reunions. Let's see who can, go in and see who the toughest game player is in a family or something.
That's right. Their inventory changes daily, so visit them often to make sure you don't miss out on that special item you've been looking for. Come game with us. Now look at this. This is the title belt for the Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat tournament they got coming up. Look at that. You actually win a belt, a wrestling style belt.
Wow.
That's
Isn't that
awesome.
cool? Isn't that cool? Yeah. Unless they've already had it. But I don't think so. They didn't give me any specific date, but I wanted to show
They keep doing stuff like that. They might have people come in for if they done it on like a weekend, big tournaments that last like 2 or 3 days. They could get people come in and get hotel rooms. They could have an impact on the economy up there.
Yeah, no doubt.
I would be pushing for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like big tournaments where you get people coming from all over the state and they win them belts like that.
Yeah.
Yep, you
be
can
awesome.
even get ESPN and what's that other gaming company that they have tournament competitions on?
When did ESPN become a gaming company?
No,
Mhm.
Well,
I'm saying
Fuck he's
ESPN
talking about at this point.
broadcasts.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
so,
in
I
the
mean,
game.
Yes.
Oh, EA.
EA Sports. That's it. Yeah. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, they got good enough, pushed it hard enough, they could probably get EA Sports and all that involved in it.
But in the meantime, I would try to expand those tournaments, buddy, get people coming in.
Yeah.
You give a good enough prize, you're gonna start getting more people who's more into it from further away. That word gets out. That's a tight knit community, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Absolutely. So am I still sharing screen or no?
I
No.
just see us.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's cover what happened at the end of Clash of Castle and we'll get out of here. So don't go changing your business model on account of us there, AC. Anyway, so Drew
Just throwing out ideas. You know me.
Yeah. No. You know, and you know that where that was directed.
oh yeah.
But so Drew McIntyre came down. This was a real cool entrance, the Scottish marching thing, and they were playing the song Roddy Piper used to come out to because it's called "Old Brave Scotland" or something like that. They put the name of the song on the screen. And then his music played, and the decibel level was over 100. They had a decibel meter they were showing on the screen. Now, I don't know how accurate that thing was, but it was still pretty cool. Damian Priest came out there, most hated band in Scotland. And so they got going. The crowd was really into this, man. Everything Priest hit, they booed. Everything McIntyre hit, they cheered.
I love the layout of that building. The way the seats are.
Yeah, it's a concert hall, right? So they actually have the ring. It's in the center of the floor, but you could see like when they would shoot back toward where the dressing room entrance is, that's where the stage would be, right? So it's like a 3/4 bowl of people, and then the roof kind of slides down, and like in the area where the roof is lowest, that's where the stage would be. So it's like Chill Howie Park in Knoxville on crack. So that's when Priest got caught up in the top rope, and they're thinking he's blown out his hamstring. He was able to get through the match on adrenaline, but that was some scary shit. He tried to do a springboard, and right through the ropes he went. And you see how he landed. If you hadn't looked it up, look up the video of it. It's pretty gnarly. But they kept going, playing hard, hitting each other with everything but the kitchen sink. Kicks and punches and wrestling moves and a claymore on the outside of the ring. I mean, this match had everything. It was great. I mean, you see Frankensteiner off the top rope, Hurricane Rana, and that's after. Look, and see, Priest you could tell his leg was kind of fucked up because he never stopped grabbing at it the whole match. But they kept going, and I mean, they were hitting each other with everything. But here's where things went south. The referee gets hit by Damian Priest, flies all the way across, hits the barrier. Drew McIntyre hits the claymore. Another referee comes in, and it's CM Punk. And the way they shot this on TV was beautiful. You couldn't see, you saw the referee coming from a distance, and you saw the referee slide in the ring in front of the camera and count 1, 2. Because you're looking through this camera guy right here, and you did not get this shot until after he stopped counting. It was brilliantly shot so that you at home, because it would take the people in the building a little bit for it to register who it was, right? Because he ran to the ring at a breakneck pace. And just like me and Stephen Hayes called it, y'all know we did it. CM Punk ends up costing Drew McIntyre the match because Drew grabs him by the neck when he realizes he's dressed as a referee. CM Punk goes to the balls. Actually did not get killed in the riot, which was amazing because figured he would have run out of the ring. The original referee gets back in the ring. 1, 2, 3. And Damian Priest is still the champion. And I'm wondering if they've gotten there's a picture of Drew, crowd not happy. Damian Priest said he didn't even realize what happened until he got to the back. Like he looked at CM Punk here, and this was not shown on TV. He was just like, I knew he had done something, I didn't know what, and so that was that. So they got no more pictures of it, but boy, those people in Scotland were pissed. And CM Punk, so he's got balls of steel to me because he's hobnobbing with these people. I mean, the majority of the people in there wanted to kill him, but he had some fans there, which I thought was just really kind of cool, honestly. I mean,
yeah.
Well, I think he's getting back to that old CM Punk I don't give a fuck attitude.
Well, he said in the press conference that it was because the reason he hated Drew McIntyre so much was not that he injured him, but because it was because he said that he made the comment that he prayed for it. And I remember telling you guys on this program at the time when Drew McIntyre made that comment that my blood ran cold, because that was the coldest shit I'd ever heard to a wrestler say to another wrestler. I prayed you would get hurt. And anyway, CM Punk comes back. We've been going for so long though. I don't know. I was going to play some of his press conference because he came in. They brought him in as a surprise guest from the press conference, and it's fun to hear him eviscerate some of the stupid questions that come out of the wrestling media. I would just encourage you, if you get annoyed by the so-called clickbait wrestling media and want to hear a couple of them get their comeuppance, watch this press conference, because CM Punk shows no mercy and Triple H shows no mercy. So CM Punk walked into the press conference with the box of donuts. And the last time we saw him come into a press conference with pastries, things went bad, real bad. That was when he had the swearing session with Tony Khan that started off the whole end of him in AEW, years ago. And he walked in there and he had a big smile on his face. And I was just like, God, man, this guy, he never stops. And his first question was, think you made all of Scotland angry with what you did tonight, and then you made half of Scotland angry with that shirt you're wearing, because he's wearing some football club shirt that I think is a rivalry of the one in Glasgow. And CM Punk just said, I disagree with your assessment. There were people out there that liked me. Certainly in the minority. But every time this guy shows up, man, because they're using him on TV so sparsely, but the crowd at Glasgow. If you've seen the videos on Twitter, were chanting bullshit after the show went off the air, and they booed Samantha Irvin when she told him to have a good night. It was just, they were pissed, and I'm happy that he made it out of there alive. And it took a lot of guts for him to stand there and hobnob with his fans on the way back. He didn't run out of the arena. It wasn't like when Bayley took that turnbuckle pad off and beat Charlotte Flair in the Spectrum Center and ran out of there before anybody realized what happened. I mean, he stood there and gloated. So some good old fashioned heat, I guess. Good old school heat, I thought.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, comments?
Well, I mean, go ahead, Reagan. I'm sorry.
No, you can go ahead, Kevin. I want to hear what you have to say.
I mean, it's when I go back to, you think about Jack, JAC, so to speak, how he is these days. He don't care what he's saying or anything like that. He just comes up, hot lips it, and throws out everything. CM Punk, well, he's doing the same thing. He's just speaking the truth. Jack, he speaks the truth to an extent. Now, I mean, he don't really call people out or anything like that, but you know what I mean. Hopefully.
Next.
Well, I was just gonna say CM Punk. One thing that CM Punk is very good at is riling people up,
Yeah.
and things like that. So I can see the parallels between CM Punk and what Kevin is saying. You know, I just hope that he can keep himself healthy enough so we can get this match.
Mhm.
I'm wondering if it's gonna be if this is gonna lead up to a three way.
Oh God, I hope not.
Because I mean, I'm just wondering because the way Damian Priest was looking at him, and then he said he didn't know what was happening. Like, I don't know how that's going to resonate with him once he starts thinking more and more about that win. He's either going to thank CM Punk, or he's gonna be like, you know,
Why'd
you
you
should
stick your
have got
nose in my
involved with my
business?
match. So
Yeah,
who knows?
well, CM Punk made it pretty clear in the press conference. It had nothing to do with Damian Priest. He does not want Drew McIntyre to have anything nice for the rest of his life. And he said, as long as my lungs can draw breath, Drew McIntyre will never hold another title in WWE. That's pretty big. That's a pretty big statement. And yeah, Bobby Dalton just sent me a message. Says one thing about it, Punk backs up his comments for sure. You got that right, brother. But the look he's got on his face, the reason I chose this photo is because, well, he has the infamous pastry box open. But that was right when one of the internet dirt sheet or clickbait writers said, when you come back, you and Drew McIntyre need to have a Hell in a Cell match right out of the gate. And that was the look that Punk had on his face when that guy said that to him. And he made the comment, you need to take that fantasy booking somewhere else, and which was a direct shot at Tony Khan. We all know that.
Well, he also, at this point, looks like if he had a bow and arrow, he could have helped him defend Helm's Deep.
Well,
Okay, see, I thought you were gonna go. I thought you were gonna go green. I thought you were gonna go the green. The oh God, what is it?
Green Arrow.
Green Arrow, who
Yeah.
actually did do some stuff with WWE. So
yeah, I wanted to show you that picture. That was one the thing I slid over from YouTube was when he sat down at the desk, and he had the pastry box with him. And as soon as he walked in with that pastry box, I was just like, oh shit, there we go. So good on him, man. Wrestling's exciting now more than ever. I think this sets up because the King and Queen of the Ring are guaranteed title matches at SummerSlam, right? Gunther has made it clear he's coming after Damian Priest. Nia Jackson's going to either go, I guess she'll have to go after Bayley because they're both on SmackDown. But now a potential match for SummerSlam is CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Now tell me that won't draw more than a little interest. I mean, this feud going on since the Royal Rumble. I mean, we're I don't know about you guys. I mean, I've been dying for something to happen, and Punk's injury, just like, but you know, CM Punk when he was champion on SmackDown many years ago with Luke Gallows and what's her name, Serena Deeb, used to cut those promos, man, and make my blood run cold. And you got, if you're not old enough to remember, kids, this man can be a real dirty bastard when provoked. So Drew McIntyre may have stepped in it big time when he said that comment, because it seems like CM Punk's going to hold a grudge for a long time. And no matter who wins at SummerSlam, I don't think this is over. No.
And whoever wins the SummerSlam, they're both going to be. I mean, they're going to both be worse for wear. So
then it's going to lead up to WrestleMania.
Well, you know, CM Punk also mentioned that they're going to let him skip Raw in Corpus Christi tomorrow to go home and get cleared. So, and SmackDown's in Chicago next Friday night. So he may show up on SmackDown just to talk, you know, just to talk to the audience. But I guess Drew McIntyre is going to be in Corpus Christi tomorrow. So, you know, he's going to be furious. I can't wait to hear what he has to say. You know, but it just makes the tension even more that Punk's not going to be there. And so, I don't know. kids, I'd recommend you watch Raw tomorrow night. It's probably going to be pretty good. So, what else do we need to cover?
Well, there is one other thing that I'm super excited about that has to do with a belt, and that's the mustard belt. I was thoroughly excited to see that Joey Chestnut will not be at the Nathan's Hot Dog July 4th hot dog eating contest because he is promoting a vegan hot dog, and Nathan said, no, thank you. So I'm thoroughly excited to see somebody else win that mustard belt. It's
I'm
the
pretty
most
excited
exciting
about it.
I've been in years about this because I'm an avid hot dog eating contest watcher.
So am
I
I.
watch every year. What? Don't yell down here when I'm on my podcast. Sorry. My child's trying to have a conversation about it.
When is that?
Huh?
When is that?
July 4th.
You served in the armed forces and you don't know when the hot dog eating contest is on July 4th. It's America's birthday.
Don't pay attention.
Well, wait a minute.
Shit like that.
This is
Wait
the
a
most,
minute.
Kevin, this is the most American thing that America has ever done besides
I
win World
remember
War II.
watching it before, but I think it might have been like a replay video or something. I don't remember when they had it, but I've seen it.
But ain't they building up to Chestnut and Kobayashi? They gonna do a one-on-one?
Yeah, that's going to be
Netflix,
in September on Netflix.
But the
Everything's on
problem is
Netflix.
the reason Kobayashi stopped is because he has a severe jaw injury that's kept him out. So he's not up to speed. Like I
That's
might
all porn
watch it, but I
stars.
loved Kobayashi. But I am excited to see who can actually. I was like, maybe this is my first time with the sports bet. So
Oh Lord. Yeah, I mean that's
Come
going
on,
to
baby.
change the game. I can't wait to see. I'd love to look at the sports bet sites and see what they say about.
I would, and like, there's so many because, like, if you watch, it's like, okay, you know he's gonna win. Who's gonna come in second? And the thing that I find interesting about the hot dog eating contest is like everybody, the fat guys are never the ones that are good at it.
No.
Fat guys suck at it. It's these guys like Kobayashi's like what 120 pounds at the most.
I don't know.
And it's these people, and people are always like, yeah, these fat slobs. I'm like, well, you've never watched it because these people put in work at that gym, most of them, and the ones who do well are that way. So I was because the woman's champion Sonia, I can't remember last time they call her the Black Widow, I think.
Yeah.
And her husband has been coming up the ranks. So I'm excited to see it, and so
yeah, man. It's a tradition in my house. Although my wife thinks it's disgusting, like she'll sit there and watch everything with me up until the actual contest, and then she'll go do something like go, fold laundry or do something to be away from the TV where she can still hear it, and she'll holler like, how many Joey got down so far? 49, 5 minutes to go, and then after she'll come back in.
Because last year it stormed and then it was like a cluster F to find it because they didn't put it on they put it on some other ESPN and I had to go and find it because
was it on the Ocho?
Maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't that far up, but it was like on ESPN News or
but,
something though. It was.
Yeah, it was, and I was like, if they don't show this, I'm gonna go crazy. But anyway, there we go.
But you know what amazes me about that?
Watch it this July the 4th. I promise.
Okay. You know what amazes me about that though, more than anything? I mean, it's but the people that turn up just to watch on the boardwalk there at Coney Island, and it is the 4th of July. Most time the sun's beating down on them because it's noon, and they're just out there having the time of their lives. And I'm like,
I would love to go, but I don't think I could handle that many people.
No, and I wouldn't want to get close enough that I'd be in that like crowd where everybody's like shoulder to shoulder. I'd like be way across the street down the next block or something because they fill up that whole corner where Nathan's is on both sides of the street, all the way across to the other side. I mean, it's a lot of people that turn up for that.
I just put me in the back with the big old damn jumbotron or some shit, and I'm good to go. Just to say that I've been there to watch.
Yeah. I mean, if you just want to go, just to say you've been there, that's for sure. I would like to go to Coney Island and visit Nathan's on a regular day, just to have have a hot dog and say I did that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like to do that. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I mean, there's a Nathan's in Myrtle Beach, but like if I'm going to do Nathan's, it seems like you should go to the original one in Coney Island. Like it's not going to be the same anywhere you go. Even though I buy the hot dogs in the supermarket, I'm sure they're not the same.
No. Nothing can ever be the same as the original. It can be close, but not the same.
I mean, you didn't even know when it was.
What? Nathan's hot dogs? Oh, yeah, Nathan's hot dogs. That's the ones I get from the store.
Yeah.
But it's not the same as Coney Island. I've been to Coney Island. Nathan's hot dog.
Oh, you've had
Yeah.
you've been to Nathan's on Coney Island?
Yeah, I've got family that lives out in Jersey.
Oh, okay. So you've eaten at the original.
Yeah, I've had
He goes up around Christmas.
Yeah, I go up there right around Christmas time.
Yeah.
Who's got a dog barking?
Is
That's
that
Scooby.
the
Come
devil?
behind me.
Is that the
Oh.
devil?
Somebody
coming?
knocked on my door and Scooby's barking at it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But
So,
yeah, I've been to Coney Island and had Nathan's hot dogs.
I've had a Coney. I didn't go to Coney Island, but my friend and I, who used to travel around a lot, we went to a Nathan's somewhere like Boston or somewhere. I don't remember. Maybe it was Vegas. I don't know. I don't remember. But it wasn't the original. But it was a Nathan's stand.
yeah.
Well,
Talk of Nathan. Well, we'll cover Nathan's hot dog eating contest on this program because there will be plenty of photos of it on Google that we could chop up and put on.
and this will be something I actually watch. So I'll have lots of commentary.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's one of my favorite things to do on July 4th. Like if we're going out anywhere, like it ain't going to be till after that damn hot dog contest is over with. I ain't going no place until that's done. So I need to go to South Carolina. Well, I better not say that on the air.
I know what you're thinking.
Yeah. All right. So anybody got anything else before we go? All
No,
right.
just looking forward to this Saturday.
Oh yeah, this Saturday. Yeah,
We-
come
we-
out and see JAC and Justin Flash one more time.
Yeah, one more time, at least before JAC goes to
Yeah.
Japan. We have
Yeah.
covered it all tonight, guys. We started out on our Facebook feed with a conversation about the pros and cons of universal health care in the United States and Canada, and we ended with a very lively discussion about the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on July 4th. So
I hate I missed about the daggone United Healthcare thing. That must be what I was trying to get logged on.
yeah. Well,
But we won't get back on that topic.
no, because you were the one that fucked up, not anybody on here. So.
But
Whoa,
he
no,
blamed-
wait
he
a
blamed
minute.
you in the chat. He
Yeah,
blamed
yeah.
you in the chat and said Matt's the one that keeps kicking me out.
Yeah, well,
No, I
that's
didn't
fine.
say
I gave him
you.
instructions.
You didn't say that? Here, let me look at the receipt.
I said, Matt, can anybody help me get back on? Because Matt removed me because it didn't show up as Sergeant Stryker. It showed up as iPhone 97.
Mhm.
So when he removed me, I went to go back in again to change my name. And when I tried to click back on join again, it says you're not allowed to join this call because the host has removed you. So I had to go create another account on the iPad just so I could get in.
So,
Oh.
yeah, that's blaming Matt, Kevin.
Yeah, so
Yes.
if you would have just changed your name on your profile to begin with before you tried to sign on, like we instructed you to do this morning.
I did.
Morning, like
I
about
guess it
8
didn't
o'clock
save
this morning.
I did, but I guess it didn't save it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure. Blame the machines.
I do all the time. I'm old and I blame machines for everything.
Exactly.
I gave
got you back.
Jinky a driving lesson today, and I was explaining to her how a car was better than a horse because it didn't have a brain and couldn't, decide to do something you didn't want it to. I'm lucky to be alive. Yeah, I'm glad to be doing this show tonight. I just want y'all to know.
So you must have went horseback riding.
No, we went Chevrolet riding.
Ah,
All right, guys. I gotta have Rick Diesel. I'm definitely sending you a copy of this show because
Yes, sir.
there's comedy gold all over it from start to finish. So we should chop
It's
up
the
and
Bob Saget.
Yeah, man. Thank you,
Uh,
thank you, Bob Saget.
Works
I love
every
this.
That's it,
time.
man. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob Saget. Tell me the afterlife is not real. I do not believe you anymore. Bob Saget was with us tonight. Thank you, Bob. And
Looking up at us, smiling.
oh, that's cold-blooded, Brian.
And on that note,
That is a wrestling joke right there, buddy. Are you sure he's looking down at us smiling, or is he looking up? Oh, Lord.
Well,
I
let's
got
just
another
say
joke, but
he's
it's
looking at us smiling, whichever way it is.
all right. Well, we're gonna get out of here, guys. I gotta go watch the NASCAR race and do whatever. You guys have a great night. Hot D starts
You
tonight.
too.
Don't forget that season 2. Take care.
What is?
Hot D? House of the Dragon.
Okay, gotcha.
You don't even know what that is, do you?
No, I don't. I'm into something. I'm into other movie things right now.
Telling you, I'm so
But
excited he's back.
you're giving me more insight to new videos that I can start. Well, new seasons I can start watching.
All right. Glad to help. Glad to
Yeah.
help.
All
you.
right.
All right. We gotta
Thank
get
you,
out
Matt.
of here, man. Thank you, Bob. And as Bob Cottle would say, we'll see you next week, fans. And until next time, so long for now.